How have you found getting back into the swing of things with the first team squad?
It's been brilliant. Like the team, they're all great to me. Training, I love training, so it's very good getting back into the rhythm. But yeah, it was great.
How much of a challenge was it then to be, out of that rhythm and out of training?
Say again?
How difficult was it dealing with being out of the picture?
Yeah, it was tough, with the injury and little stuff on the side. Like, every player goes through setbacks, and it's just it's about managing it, really, mentally. Can't let things like that change the way you are and how you play, so it was just about managing it.
Setbacks how in your rehab?
Just with the injury, I was going on a good streak in training, getting minutes, and then the injury happened. And then, it's like one of those, something you can't avoid. It's just like, again, how you manage it. Can't let, that take over you.
I might imagine that, given the fact that you are a young player, to have a taster of that early frustration early in your career might actually serve you well for an experience.
Yeah. I'm grateful though, because I've never had a injury before in my life. That was my first injury. Thank God it wasn't like a big deal one, something that it's very manageable. So it's bound to happen as a player. It's just when it happens, don't let it affect you. But yeah.
Now you come back into the picture. Given the injury circumstances at the team, there's probably going to be a bit more responsibility on your shoulders, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. I've gotten opportunities. I'm gonna take every one that I get, no matter what. But definitely, for sure, loads.
Because over the course of the last couple of games that you have played, clearly you've had those chances to score as well and get on the score sheet. In quite different games too as well, which was quite interesting. Not least the one the other day, in playing that role up front, essentially by yourself.
Yeah, it's funny because every last 3 substitutes that I've been on, it's about defending the lead really at the time. So it's just a matter of me stretching out the pitch, running and try holding up the ball. So haven't got the opportunities I should be getting, if you know what I mean. But it's just what you do. The manager tells you to do something, you do it, so yeah.
The manager who was sat where you're sat sort of 5 or 6 minutes ago was talking about the fact that you seem to have come back into the team with the confidence of knowing what to do and when to do it, rather than just any kind of hesitancy, if you like.
Yeah, I think I'm a confident guy always, but I think from the Millwall game when I scored, that really gave me a big confidence boost. And like I said, the gaffer and the whole coaching staff are very great to me, the whole team. And they drive me, they expect a lot from me. And I need to live up to the expectations. That's the reality of things.
Yeah, and I was kind of going to allude to that, but you've almost done it yourself. So having scored against Millwall, it means people can kind of stop talking about the Everton goal, which just in life, rather than necessarily in football terms, was a while ago. Yeah. But obviously with that, you had to deal with an unbelievable amount of expectation.
Oh yeah, that's how it is, there's loads of pressure and there's high expectations from me. And like I said, it's just how you manage it. Are you gonna cry about it, or you're gonna keep your chin up and keep going? You'll always be judged, and players dislike you or people. It's just a matter of, okay, that's their opinion. You know yourself the best, and how you're going to be the best. You have to figure it out.
I suppose it's better than people having no expectation and have written you off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. When you're in those circumstances, how important are the senior lads then, who themselves, perhaps particularly the forwards, Billy, as a young kid making his way within the team, when he first started scoring goals, people will have looked at him and laid a layer of expectation on him too, and having those players around to maybe offer advice.
Yeah, like I can name loads of players that give me advice. They all push me. Even if I slack a little in training, they'll get on me. We all get onto one another because that's just the standard here and that's just how it is. But all the boys seem to push me, keep driving me, every single one of them. I really do thank them a lot.
I realise this is a bit of a cliched question, but is there one sort of piece of advice you've been given that's really kind of hit home with you?
That's a good question, but well, I think really I just think that I got it all in front of me. Like there's a opportunity there for me, and this is what I dreamed of doing as a little boy, and I just need to go and get it. Like it's a matter of how bad you want it, and that's just how I think it's there for me, and I'm just gonna try my hardest no matter what. Yeah.
In terms of profiling the squad and looking at what Sheffield United have, how important for you in the early part of your career is that you, above all of the forwards, have the kind of USP of pace and that kind of physicality, and adding a different dimension, like you say, stretching the pitch at times when required, to get more regular first-team football?
Sorry, can you say that again?
How when you're itching for minutes, and you're desperate to play, how important is it that you have maybe something that the other forwards don't have that rapid pace?
Yeah. And every single one of our forwards, I think, are very different. We all have different play styles, I think, and that's why I think this team's really special up top in the pitch, because we all play different. We all offer something. So I'm more of I'd say a stretch man, running behind, I create space for the midfielders and stuff like that. That's something I do bring to the team that some other players might don't. But yeah.
You were talking a minute or two ago about managing expectations that are placed on you as a team. How are expectations managed on the group, and a group that finds itself with a very enviable points gap in the race for automatic promotion?
Yeah. Sorry, can you say that again?
You've got a massive lead on third. How important is it not to get carried away?
Oh, yeah, it's huge, We just need to keep pushing and not drop below, our standards. Like, one day you can't have a slack day, because that's, at the end of the day, that's going to lead into your next game, and you'll see it on the pitch. That's just how the game goes. And that's why we're on, near the top. So training has been brilliant. We're not far away at all, but it's not over yet. We still need to keep going, yeah.
Last season seemed a season of, catching up. Ultimately, it ended in the playoffs, didn't it?
Yeah.
This season, you've led from the front. Well, along with Burnley, of course, but led from the front.
Yeah. I think the gaffer's done a really good job since the beginning of pre-season. He made it all clear to us that what he expects in the upcoming season, and he's kept it the whole way through like that. He hasn't changed how he does his things, and we all live by that here. We all agree with him, and he's doing a great job with us by setting those standards, and we're following them.